Hello everyone, for this video I am going to discuss to you the introduction to databases, SQL, and explore MySQL. One thing you'll notice when you study programming languages is that the concepts you encounter are interrelated. This means that focusing on a single topic can hardly deliver the content. We have to understand the entirety of it, and SQL here makes no exception. In my experience, it would be much better and faster in learning and writing efficient queries if you go through a brief discussion to databases. In this example, you will see here a table that contains data about the customer sales. This is how we should read this information. The purchase number here was registered on this date on January 29 from customer number 1 who bought the item, code A. So each of the 4 elements has a specific meaning. We call each one of these as data value. And all of this combined is called a record that exists in this table. It corresponds to a row of the table, and besides the record or the rows, you can see that the data is separated into 4 columns or fields. When you are dealing with rows and columns, this means that you are dealing with stored tabular data. And in this table, we know nothing about the customer, right? So we only have here the customer ID. So this means that the information about the customers is stored in another table called customers. There are several fields such as first name, last name, and the number of feedback. So what would the logic of that structure be? Every time we have a customer ID with an ID number in the sales table here, we can refer to the customer with ID number 1 in the customers table. So you see, relational algebra allows us to use mathematical logic and create a relation between a few tables in a way that allows us to retrieve data efficiently. And these 2 tables here, through customer ID, it forms a relational database. Besides the records or rows in the columns, the smallest unit that can contain a meaningful set of data is called an entity. So in this table here, the customers, this is referred to as the bigger data, an entity of its own. And the horizontal data here is called the horizontal entity, and the columns are the vertical entity. And this whole entity here for the customer, it can also be referred to as a database object. In SQL, so now that you know the relational database and how it works, SQL is the programming language you need to execute commands that let you create and manipulate relational databases. We will not dig deeper into the detailed technical definition. What you need to know is that there are a few types of programming languages like procedural, object-oriented, functional, and declarative. Procedural here uses programming language like BASIC, C, Java, Pascal, and object-oriented uses programming language like JavaScript, Java, Python, C++, and for functional, it uses programming languages like Haskell, Erlang, and for the declarative, this is actually called as non-procedural, and the programming language used for this is SQL. So, ideally, a program specifies what is to be done rather than how to do it. For example, in procedural, if you wanted to fetch a water down the stream, you need steps on how to do it. Like example, step 1, get the container. 2, go to the stream. 3, fill the container with water. And in declarative, you only tell the program what to do, which is to fetch the water. And you wouldn't have to go through the process step by step because it already has the algorithm that are built in, and there is an optimizer which will separate your task into smaller steps and do the magic to bring the desired output. And that is why you will need to be familiar with SQL commands like select, update, insert, and delete. So those are the basic commands. And I will show you a demo of what MySQL database is, so you can explore it on your own. To start exploring your MySQL database, you will need to download the XAMPP server. So this will serve as your local host server, so you may able to access your databases. And then upon downloading and installing it, you will also need to click the start button for the first 2 functions for Apache and MySQL. So after that, you need to go to your web browsers, open it, and type in your URL the localhost /phpMyAdmin, and you will see the list here of the database that you have already created, or if you're new with it, you will see here, you will also create here the database. In this section, you will need to be familiarized with each of this function. Like for this one, the SQL, this is where you are going to code your SQL commands. And then if you already have the SQL schema, you may import it in this function using this function. Just choose which format do you prefer, or which format is the base file that you are going to use. And then, like for example, let's access this one, the sample database that I already imported. So as you can see, the MySQL schema is already here. There are 10 entities existing in this database. So we have the agents, company, customer, and so on. And if you click through each of this table, you will see the data. And if you need to look into the specific structure of this table, you are just going to click the structure. So you will see for each data type, for each data, what would be its data type, and what would be the default of the data, is it null or not, and then which data among here is your primary key or your foreign key. And if you have read the reading materials that I uploaded, the primary key is used as a unique identifier that will set out that this information is only for this specific record. And the foreign key is actually a duplicated primary key that you will use in order to connect to any other entities. So for example here, agent code, so I don't have a foreign key yet here. So you can actually see a bigger picture of this. Like for example, if it was already connected to any other entity, then here you will just click the database, and then here more, and then here the designer. So it is actually just similar with the ERD that you are supposed to create. So this will just give you a bigger picture as to how the entities are actually connected. In this example, the entities here are actually separated because I haven't assigned a foreign key yet. This is just an example just to show you how each of the entities looks like. And then if you will need to test a specific SQL command, let's say for example select, so you may actually click a specific entity here and then click the SQL, so you may see the existing format for each query. So here we have the select all from agents, so this will give you the result of the whole all the records from the agent's entity. But if you wanted to specify that only agent A007 data you are going to select, then here in this condition where in this part you are going to put here the condition. So where agent code is equal to, since it's a character, so let's use a single quote A007, and yeah, so you will see a record there for agent A007. And if in case like you wanted to update the name of that specific agent, so we're just going to create select update, and then update agent, set agent code to value, which value A007, and agent name, let's say me, and then let's just delete the rest of it. That's because I'm just going to update the agent name. Yeah, only the agent name. where agent code A007. Yeah, so if in case that your SQL command is actually not correct, so you will see an error message here that says ending quote was expected near the position 64. So in this case, yeah, so I have here an error. So let's try it again and see if it works. Yeah, and then to see if it is actually change, so we are going to select it again. Yeah, so you can see here that the agent name for the agent name of the A007 agent has actually changed. And then if you are going to delete a specific data, like for example, let's delete this one, A01111, yeah, A011. So let's click delete from agents where agent code is equal to A011. Yes. Right. So agent A011 has already been deleted. And for the insert command, there are actually two different ways on how you are going to insert a specific data. So you can use this one, the SQL command. You just need to add for each record the values that you are going to create for that specific data value, or you may add here, you may click this one, the insert function, to add another record for this specific data entity. Right, like this one. So you need to put here, let's say, and then let's use A011 commission 0.5, phone number 22. I'll just put a random number here, country Philippines. So you may actually add up another data. You just need to select this one, insert a new row, and then select how many numbers of row, and then click the go button. If in case, guys, that you don't want a primary key, that's var_char. So you can choose a you can choose a data type, int format. So you can actually assign that primary key to be auto incremented. So meaning upon inserting a specific record, you don't need to create a specific code for that certain record to be inserted, because like for example the last data that was inserted is 10, and then if you wanted to add another data, the auto increment will serve as a counter, so you can add up another record to that specific entity. Here, yeah, so the row here is actually inserted. So let's check. Yeah, so we have another row here, another record for A011. Okay, and then the last thing is that if you need to back up your SQL, or you need a copy of it so you can upload it to a specific hosting site, you can actually export this whole entity here. You just need to click the export function and then write the name updated sample, and then just select which format do you prefer, so you can actually export it as CSV file, JSON, PHP array, but for me I prefer to use SQL. And then click the go button, and automatically it will be downloaded. And then yeah, so this is actually the updated version of the sample database.